The time is finally here. The girl that everyone has been waiting for, Miyabi Hoshimiya, has been drip marketed for ZZZ. Miyabi is one of the most anticipated characters in the game, and everybody has been waiting to get their hands on her. And honestly, this was going to be a completely different video from what this is right now, because I was going to do a video talking about how a lot of you guys can prepare for her in order to have your account ready and set once her banner comes about. But I don't think I can honestly do that right now, because something drastically changed with Miyabi that we weren't expecting. When looking at her drip market, we see that of course she has her name, the Void Hunter icon. We now know hard confirmed that she is an Anomaly unit, but beside her for her element icon, it's completely different from the actual ice element icon that we're used to in the game. And so this is actually sparking a lot of questions within the community of what Miyabi truly is. I can't completely say for sure what she is because of this drastic of a change of her icon. It could still be ice element, and it could be just a new design of what the ice element icon looks like. This could be a complete new element that we haven't seen, or people are actually talking about what if she's a dual element, and I kind of want to entertain all that. And so to start off, let's talk about the possibility of her still being an ice element. Okay, if Miyabi is still an ice element, then this really doesn't change too much from what she was within the original CPT. Everybody that plays CPT, we pretty much knew that she was ice at the time. We just didn't have any class roles during her time within CPT, so there wasn't any attack, stun, anomaly, or any of things of that sort. So what this would tell us is that if she was an ice element, then she will work with other ice units in the game like Lycon, even work with upcoming units like Lighter, making them very viable picks and units for her to pull. And so thinking about that, there's a lot of characters that you can build your account up towards to in order to prepare for her if she still is maintaining the ice element, allowing us to have some form of compatibility and reliability with the characters on our account to make her work. Now I'm pretty sure this is still going to happen, because even this is a new element, I'm pretty sure they're going to allow her to work with other characters in the game so that we can comfortably still have her and add her onto the team. But what this does is that it'll change the overall meta shift of something new coming into the game, because we're going to have to prepare and build up that new element to build around her, which if it is a new element, what could it be? And honestly, the only other thing I could possibly think of is that it be wind. Now, if you guys didn't know, back in the day with CPT, I believe it was either Miyabi and Soukaku, or it was just Soukaku that she wasn't always ice. There was actually a wind element in the game back in the original CPT, and they ended up changing wind to ether, if I'm not mistaken. So ether originally didn't exist. That was a new addition to the game, and they replaced wind with that, essentially scrapping the whole idea of wind. Now, I don't know why they went about doing that. Maybe they just couldn't think of any other cooler characters for the wind element at the time, or maybe they wanted to introduce that in down the line, and Miyabi being one of the new characters that actually does it, that's actually pretty sick. Honestly, kind of surprised if it is a new element for it to be this early on within the game's life, because we're still within the 1 phases. Like, we haven't even hit 2.0, and adding a new element, in my opinion, or even like a new class role, feels like a big 2.0 change that you do to shift in to not only bring in a new S rank premium character, but you will also bring in other probably new A rank characters to help work around that new unit, so that you have some way to essentially form a team and make them work properly. So when thinking about that, I honestly don't think it is a completely new element. I think what this actually could be, Zenless actually come up with the idea of experimentation with dual elements. Now, I've asked a lot of people, has there ever been a character within HoYoverse that actually uses a dual element? And technically, from my understanding, there isn't a character that does this, so Miyabi will be the first of her kind. And what people are speculating is that with these little frills and stuff, like where the ice pointers are at, people are thinking, what if this is an indication of an ice and fire type mix, meaning that either Miyabi could use both at the same time, or she could be a stance character, kind of like Miyabi, where she has two different modes. She has an ice mode and a fire mode. Thinking about that, that could be really sick and a lot of fun. That also allows us to have unique implications with having builds and teams for a character like that, because that means Miyabi could literally have the biggest team pool in the game out of any character, which honestly wouldn't surprise me too much if they do that, because they know how big of a character she is. They know how much everybody is excited to pull her and actually been saving for her to make it so that she's going to be essentially having that idea guarantees her to be one of the most valuable units within within the game. The fact of you having 2 elements makes it so that she's able to work with not only the likes of Lighter, who works with both fire and ice, making that perfect, but then she'll able to easily work with characters like Bernice. Then she'll be able to team up with a character like Colada, even maybe do a dual DPS team with Soldier. Having Lucy, all of those characters synergistically would just work a lot better with her if she has a dual element thing to her. And honestly, they could really make it work with her design, because how Miyabi fights with using her element is that she has the little demon by her that actually imbues her sword with an element. And when you look at her in some of the cutscenes, it doesn't particularly look like ice when it imbues her sword. It kind of does look like blue flames. So I can kind of entertain the idea of her being in fire and ice mix, of being able to have a stance of using ice, of maybe not having the demon imbue it with anything, and that she can just be an ice user by default, and then she uses the demon itself to get rid of the ice, imbue it in flames, and then now she has a fire stance. I think that is something that will probably be the hypest thing ever within Zenless so far, and I think it will end up getting a lot of people to pull for her, whether they've been saving for her or they just want to dump a boatload of money. And then it'll also provide her a lot of versatility, again allowing a lot of other different agents within the game to work with, and making it so that even if you don't have every agent in the game, or even if you're new within the game, there's already going to be a lot of characters you can work with and be accessible to you, because she has such a wide team pool with having 2 elements. And I think that would just be an amazing idea. But I definitely think that we are too early to really know or find out if she's truly going to be a new element. And again, we haven't heard any word if this is true or not. This is really all speculations. Everybody in the community is having a blast trying to figure this out right now. Literally, her drip marker just came out a few minutes ago. It's maybe been like 20 minutes or so now. But I don't know, I'm excited. I'm really excited. I really want to see what they're going to end up doing with this character, and if they're going to treat her and make her an ice element and this is just a new ice icon, or are they going to try out the dual element ability? Because I definitely think that's more so the possibility outside of making a brand new element, because again, I think it's just very early to have people invest into a brand new element within the game, and also not having another new unit of the element to complement with her, because it'll just make things a lot more rougher for you on your account. Again, the additional ability stuff can allow them to be a bit more flexible and allow her to maybe work with other Anomaly units as well as somebody on her faction, so she could still have team synergy there. But again, it's a little too soon to get a brand new element. And I just want to entertain the idea of dual elements a bit more, because that just sounds a lot cooler in my opinion. But what do you guys think? I want to hear everything about your excitement for Miyabi. What do you like about her so far with a little bit that we've seen? Do you think that she's still going to be ice and this is just a new ice icon? Or do you think that she's going to be a new element, or going to be playing with a dual element system? Let me know in the comments below, because I want to see what everybody's thoughts on this. This is just an overall discussion on the character, since we don't know too much about her at all. I just want to hear everybody's opinion. Again, I just feel like entertaining the whole idea of the dual elements thing, because I feel like if they were changing the ice icon, I think we would have got an update within this patch to show that the ice icon change was happening before she releases, so we wouldn't get confused. But now that we have this new symbol and there's a bit of confusion, it creates a really big excitement for her, to kind of makes us think that something big is about to happen for the game. But if ultimately that doesn't happen, it wouldn't suck, but you know, it'll be a lot more exciting if these little theories and stuff that we got are actually entertained and it actually happens. But we don't know. Again, we'll have to see once she releases and once they provide additional information for me. And once we do, I'll definitely still make that video to see if I can help you guys prepare for her before she gets here, because I know a lot of you guys have been saving and not really pulling for characters at all because you've been waiting for her. But you need to remember, this is a team game, so just having her isn't a good idea. You want to have a full team built in order to play with her and complement her and make her a lot stronger than what she is by herself. So you definitely don't want to fall behind on that aspect. So once we get a little more information on her, we'll definitely be making a video on that. And yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this yap. It was a lot of fun. I'm super excited to see what they do with Miyabi. And of course, we're definitely be having a lot more content on the channel with Zenless in general, and especially when she drops. I appreciate you guys and all your love and support. And remember to believe in you that believes in yourself. I'll see you guys in the next one.